Well, there you are. Hi, Aries. Elsie here to do a reading for you, my friends. It is for 2026 September. We're already looking at the month ahead, so let's find out what is coming up in the month ahead for you. If you have a placement in Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Jupiter, there could be something here for you. Please keep in mind it is a general reading. Let's find out what could be coming up for you in September of 2026. Tell me about Aries. Tell me about Aries, please. I'm doing the beginning, the middle, the end of the month, and then we'll throw tarot at it. Beginning of the month, we have time for a deep dive. All right, whether you want to or not, I feel like it's time to deep dive on something here to really, truly understand something emotionally, I feel. We are looking at a swan after all, and the deep dive indicates water. So you might have a water placement, but if you don't, I feel like you're going to be going down the rabbit hole of something. Tell me more. The middle of the month, we have Be Fearless and Bold. Well, those two kind of go together, don't they? Excuse me. You know, it feels like you're going to have to deep dive on something in order to get an answer, and that answer itself is going to close a cycle for you. And what that cycle is, maybe we'll find that out within the reading, but we've got a 6 and a 4, and that's 10. I think whatever you find, I feel like you're fearless and bold enough to go down some sort of rabbit hole or take a deep dive into something that maybe you've been avoiding. In my mind's eye, I am seeing the Two of Swords with the blindfold on. It feels like there's something here that you've been ignoring, maybe because it just is going to take a lot of energy or emotion. But I feel like around the middle of the month, you are, in fact, in the thick of it. Tell me what's going on. End of the month for Aries, please. The Fire family. Tell me about what's going on. End of the month, we have Rebirth Assured. So whatever it is you're deep diving on, I feel like you're going to be brave enough to do it, like really get into it in the end of the month, or sorry, middle of the month. And by the end of the month, it changes you. Whatever you figure out, it might end up making you feel in lack a little bit, I would say, but it also helps you close a cycle. So I feel like you knew that something would have to be removed from your life or end. Look, it could be a thought pattern. It could be a person. It could be a job. It could be anything really. But it feels like whatever you find out in the middle of the month is going to help you see it from a different direction, right? We have the bat hanging upside down. Reminds me of the Hanged Man, but it feels like you need to look at something from a different perspective. But I feel like it's going to change your mind, change how you feel, maybe take you out of this lack mindset that you've been in, because I think you've been avoiding something or you've been blocked. Like it feels like you didn't really want to see the truth of something. It says the abundant universe will provide. So, isn't that interesting? Because I was saying 6 and 4 is 10, and I feel like whatever you find out is going to bring some sort of a cycle to an end, and then we end up with a 10. 10s are the end of the cycle. So I feel like this abundant universe will provide. The buffalo spirit is here, and I think that whatever you do find out is quite intimidating, but it does feel like you can now look it in the eyes. I feel like you're not going to flinch, Aries. Never really met an Aries who didn't flinch. Like, I've never met an Aries who did flinch, is what I'm saying. I don't think you're scared of anything, Aries. Let's find out what the tarot has to say. Tell me about Aries, the Fire family, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Aries, thanks so much for your thumbs up, your hypes, everything you come here to watch. If you're interested in, if you really like it and interested in helping your tribe grow that way, thanks so much for that. Let's find out what's going on with the Swan Spirit, please. What are we deep diving on? Okay, it is very deeply emotional. Yeah. Okay, we're going to, before we make assumptions here, let's keep dealing here. It feels like you are really taking a look at your emotions. It feels, it's like how you feel about something. There is a very independent energy popping up here. It feels very confident, but it feels very, feels like you're kind of standing up for yourself here, or you're not scared to show who you are truly. When I look at this particular depiction, this person is dressed how they want. They present how they want. This is somebody who has built something on their own, possibly a business. I feel there's a conflict. The conflict is, I feel the confidence to build something alone, or you are in some sort of a union, possibly. This Two of Cups energy is here. You might be in a union where you are excelling and building a business and doing the things that you want to do, and the other person is not really interested in what you're doing. That person might say, oh, that's great, pat you on the head like, like you just got your first gold star from grade 5. Like it feels like somebody is, I'm going to say the word that comes to mind is undermining, but it doesn't really feel absolutely like an undermining. It feels like somebody who is not interested in your accomplishments and doesn't really support you in those things. So Aries, I feel like time for a deep dive is you are questioning or looking into the Two of Cups, wondering if we really are as bonded as I think we are. And if we are, we should probably talk about that, because I feel like you are working really hard to bring stability to the relationship. You're really working hard at building something. You've become the subject matter expert on something, and someone here is just not very interested in what it is that you do for a living, how you make your money. Maybe it's your side gig, maybe it's something you're building on the side next to whatever job you have. The Star energy is here. I feel like this is something that you have tried to come to, you've come to try to understand this. I feel like the Star is here because the Nine of Pentacles is here. It's like, I'm still working. I'm still the subject matter expert of the thing. It feels like you're gaining ground or you've built something. This person who is connected to you in emotion, dating you, whatever, it feels like they are a person who isn't really interested in doing what you do. So you might have a business that they're not interested in, and they're just kind of patting you on the head. It feels like a pat on the head. I would say the person's like, oh, that's great. And then they go back to what they were doing. The Star tells me that you've been trying to heal this. It feels like you've been trying to reconcile this or been trying to heal this feeling that you have about this for some time here. But I feel like this month, the month of September, is the month you take the deep dive and figure out what you want to do about how you feel, because something feels incomplete here. We're at the Nine of Pentacles, not the 10. Something feels incomplete. It feels like you've built something on your own and you're trying to heal from somebody not being all that interested. They're more interested in the relationship with you than they are about your accomplishments. And you can say, well, maybe that's enough for some of you, and that's great. But for others of you who are really working hard to accomplish something or build a life for the future, this person is really, it's like, the person who's like, that's great, babe, slap you on the ass, walk away. You know what I mean? They don't take you seriously. So I feel like this Two of Wands tells me, it feels like you're digging for information. I feel like you're at a crossroads here, friend, and you feel kind of stuck because you don't really know how to deal with the situation at hand, because it's not terrible. Look, the Two of Cups is here. It's not terrible. This person seems to be sharing with you intimately and their emotions with you, but it feels like your accomplishments are really important to you, as they should be, and that this person, I feel, is not all that interested in it. So it makes you feel stuck. We've got the middle of the month. The Devil energy is here. Be fearless and bold. Very interesting. We've got the Death card. All these just popped out. And we have the Five of Swords with the exact amount of cards. So I'm going to say middle of the month, friend. The Death card and the Devil card collide. I feel like you have decided I need to put a stop to codependency. I feel like you really want to say something about this in the middle of the month. It feels like you are going to be fearless and bold. I feel like this is explaining who the Knight of Wands is. I feel like you're going to have to be brave, friend, and it's going to destabilize your relationship or your friendship or whoever it is who really isn't in your corner. Look, I've experienced it a lot, and you might have experienced it as well, that you're doing really good, you're accomplishing many things, and the people who are the closest to you see you as a bit of a person who is an overachiever, or they're like rolling their eyes when you walk in the room because they know that you're the person who is feeling great about themselves. Do you know what I mean? The people that I'm talking about, they're not necessarily against you. They are your friends, but they're not where you are. They're not in a place where you're very happy and connected to your accomplishments and what you're building. So the fearless and bold, I think that's it. The middle of the month, I feel like you pull your energy toward you. 4 is the Emperor energy, right? The Emperor is you, is Aries. And I feel finally you pull it all together, you pull in your energy, and you start making cuts. I feel like you also bring up a conversation with the ones of them who you really love, the ones you want to keep in your space. I feel like the Five of Swords tells me that there's something that you no longer want to battle in the mind. It's something I've got to make a brave move and detach from the people who are codependent. There could be people who want to be around you because maybe you're popular or really good at what you do and you get a lot of attention. So they're always hanging out with you when you bring the check home. When you bring the money home, they're hanging out with you. But it feels like you're the one that's doing all the work. I feel like you're about to have a conversation that is going to destabilize your relationship or the place of work. Feels like something here is about to change in a very big way. And it's how you handle the devil energy. Because I feel like the devil energy is probably someone who's maybe smack talking you over and over. Possibly you find out, right after taking the deep dive, you find out somebody's talking behind your back. It feels like you're going to walk in, kick open the door and say, there's something here we need to talk about. And if it starts a fight, it starts a fight. And I don't think you care because that's Aquarius energy. And Aquarius is going to say, look, we gotta talk about some things and I just need the answers for these. And that's going to show me how I'm supposed to move forward from here. We've got Rebirth Assured, which is interesting because the Death card is at the middle of the month. And so I feel like finally after you make the cuts, it does feel like a rebirth is assured. I feel like you feel the happiest you've ever felt. Because now you are no longer in this place where you feel like you have to include the people who don't include you. We've got the King of Swords. Yeah, I felt like there was this energy of you cutting away people from the past, even the people that you've been with a long time. Look, I don't care if it's your brother, your sister, your mother, your best friend, whoever it is, dating forever. I feel like there's someone here who does not support your dreams. And I feel like as you are unfolding in your life here, Aries, that there is somebody that you're very happy. You're actually in this joyful energy of this change, this transformation that you've been going through. And I think it's been a hard one, a hard transformation for you. But we do have the King of Swords, and that's the one who's non-apologetic. Look, I'm just going to give you the crib notes. I'm just going to tell you what I see, what I think is going on, and then I'm going to need you to explain yourself. Because I feel like some of these people we're talking about are the people that you would say are the closest to you. And that is right on point, man, because I can tell you that sometimes that is the truth. One more card here. We've got the Four of Pentacles. Wow, very interesting, because you just look at the way it's broken up here. Somebody's got their hand on the pulse of the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is what we're building. It's what we're building, but it's also our community. Are they helping you build? Are they supporting you build? Do you trust these people anymore? The Three of Pentacles is cooperation, collaboration. It feels like you are now going to begin planting seeds with the people that you feel are going to back you up, are going to be your group of people who are cheering you on. And the others, I feel that you are going to be holding back from. And I don't care how they're related to you. It feels like the Six of Cups is telling me that some of them you could have had in your life for a very long time. Bottom of the deck, look here. It might be because they see you working, and it's not only working or working hard on something, you're becoming the subject matter expert on something. So you become the person that every other person comes to that is in your career space or whatever it is. Other people come to you to ask you how you got to where you are. But I also feel like as you're doing that, this card here is like the Death card here is really transforming you in the way that you talk to yourself. And I think that because you're talking to yourself more bravely, I would say, changing your mind, I feel like other people don't like that about you. So I feel like the Eight of Pentacles is also going over the self, but also self-mastery. I feel like you are mastering something. You might be in school. Maybe you're about to get your master's in something. Maybe you're a nurse and you're getting your master's and everyone else around you has a bachelor's. Do you know what I mean? It could be a little bit of envy is what I'm thinking here because you worked hard. Look, the Six of Wands is about getting your victory, but it's about getting your victory after coming from a hard place. Some people in your life, whether they know you intimately or not, would rather you just take your place at the end of the line so they can be at the beginning of the line. But I think that you're the person who doesn't lay down. I think you're the person who fights for what you want. And I also think that you're the person who deserves people to cheer them on. And that's exactly what this is. This is showing yourself in the light, no longer like giving yourself permission to take up space and no longer holding back just because other people don't like that you take the main stage or that the sun is shining on you. I think you're now this Three of Pentacles. I feel like you are holding back from people who don't match this community network, people who are collaborative and cooperative, people who want to learn from you and who you can learn from them. I feel like the Six of Wands tells me those people are the ones you're going to be hanging out with, because they're all like-minded, they're all pushing forward, and they're fighters. They fight for what they want, but they also cheer you on when you get your victory, because you're there to cheer them on when they get their victories. Okay, we're going to put 3 more cards down. We're going to go into the extended, and if you want to be there, please look in the pinned comment. There is a pinned comment which has 2 links. One is for the membership. That's where I pull all of this apart to give you an outcome. And if you're interested in that, please click the membership link. If you are interested in a private read, please know they are open. Been taking a lot of calls. If you guys want to do a live call or pre-recorded reading, please go to the link to Hypsee. Click there. You'll be able to see all my packages and pricing. And live calls do have to be pre-booked as well. So please go take a look at my schedule. And if you want to do that, I am available. All right, 3 cards to go into the extended. What are we talking about? We have the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, friend, I think that you are excelling in your life, and it feels like you are excelling in your life, and you now no longer require external validation. You've grown from the inside. You're very happy with who you are. You're very brave. You're bold. You don't mind saying what you got to say. You don't mind kicking up dust, whether those people like dust or not. The King of Swords isn't concerned with whether you like what they say, because they are going to speak truthfully. And maybe the delivery is going to be a little dry, but I think you're done with it. I think you're done tiptoeing around people and trying to dull your light or making yourself fit into a space that you no longer fit in. So I feel like this 9 of Cups tells me that you're very close, or you are, in the month of September, you're going to be living your wish fulfillment, which is happy on the inside, happy on the outside. I don't need your external validations. I don't need a pat on the back. Why? Because the person in the 9 of Pentacles doesn't need that. They're just engaged in working. They're engaged in building. So look, Queen of Pentacles, right? It feels like you are focused on yourself. You're focused on your pentacle world. So time, effort, energy, money. Maybe you're not around as much as you used to be in your social group. But it also feels like you're taking good care of your health, because the 9 of Pentacles is the pre-Empress energy. So you have changed not only who you are, but how you look. And that also could lead to a little bit of envy or jealousy. And then look, we have the 7 of Swords. It feels like people are keeping quiet, not saying anything. I don't think this is deceit or secrets, but I do feel that there are people in your life who are like going to the guy next to them. Oh, yeah, Aries thinks they're all that, right? Well, I'm going to say you are all that. I feel like you are really doing well in your life, and you're ready to face the ones who are not facing you. You're going to be looking them dead in the eye and telling them, yeah, it's my turn, because the abundant universe is providing for me, and I'm just taking the ball and running with it. I feel like you're having victories. You've disciplined something in your life, and I feel like it's working out for you, and it's this Chariot is carrying you quickly to your victory. But also it feels like an emotional victory. I'm just going to say we got Cancer here. Yeah, I think that you're being quiet. The thing is I don't think you have to tell anybody that you're doing great, that you're looking good, that you're making bank, that you're building something. You don't have to tell people. They see it. It's in their face, and they won't look at you. But I feel like you're going to look them in the eye and say, what's the problem? I heard you had this to say about me. We're going to talk more about that. We'll go into the extended. I'll see you there if you want to be there. And if not, I'll see you back here. And if you want to do this again, I will be here as well. I hope you are too. Take care, Aries. Thanks. Bye-bye.